Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum, and welcome back to another episode of Found Footage Fridays with my co-host, Tom Reimer.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
So, we did things a little different this time. We did, Tom and I put out a survey, and I put it everywhere. I put it on, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And this was the two movies, one of the ones obviously we're talking about tonight, were pretty much the only ones that got votes. There was only one other one that got a little bit of attention, but yeah, so the one that got the most votes is the one we're talking about today, which is Holes in the Sky. Did you like my fade in last week?
I did. I loved it. Got to keep that going.
You liked it?
Yes.
It took me forever to figure out how to do
we
it.
just keep making these episodes better and better.
But you were so like magic-y about it. I was like, it needs some razzle dazzle.
Yes. Well, it was definitely razzle and dazzle.
Okay, so Holes in the Sky, the Sean Miller story. I watched this on Tubi. Did you watch it on Tubi?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. You can watch this you can watch it on there and Vudu for free, or you can rent it. Currently it has a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb, a 3.4 out of 5 on Vudu, and 3.5 out of 5 from Voices from the Balcony.
Gotta have them on someday. Whoever they
One day. It's got I need to look into it because I do wonder if it's just found footage. I never see
that would be so funny if
for anything else. It's so strange. A documentary film crew attempts to make a movie detailing the 2013 alien abduction of resident Sean Miller, but the shoot becomes a life-changing experience for everyone involved as events spiral out of control.
So this one, this is new and much talked about, in the found footage community, if you could say that's such a thing, which it is.
Why not?
Nowadays. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think, without spoiling a lot, what I really like about this movie is the realism factor, or a lot of things that make it feel more real, that add a layer of realism. And even so much as the director being actually playing the character of the director in the movie, which I really liked. I love a lot of these movies where the director is also the writer, is also the camera guy, and is in the movie. I mean, like triple or quadruple threats, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
I really like that sort of thing. And so I think that really added another something to this movie.
Yeah. And I think I'm probably going to say some similar stuff then, because that's kind of some thoughts that I had. Yeah. And I feel like we have to mention this. The budget for this was $700.
That's nuts.
And
that's like the second lowest that we've seen in any of these movies. The lowest purportedly being Bad Ben, which is like $300
$300, I think, right?
Bucks to make or something like that. Yeah.
I like $700, but yeah. So I felt like that was worth mentioning, because I was like, I didn't know that until they followed me on Twitter. And I was like, oh, what is this? And I went and looked, and I was like, oh. And so I followed them back. And one of their posts was about the budget of the film. And I was like, holy cow, $700.
I mean, and one of the things I like most about this movie is how it does feel like a real group of friends filming this. It feels like, I don't mean this in a negative way at all. It feels like a group of friends went and did this on like a weekend. But I mean that like for found footage, that's a positive in my brain.
I know what you mean.
It doesn't feel overproduced. Like sometimes we see with found footage movies, they just seem like, I don't know what the right word is, but overproduced. Yeah.
Well, we've both complained on different movies about things looking too clean.
Right.
because it takes us out of that, like someone did this on their own, like kind of feeling of, found footage. We've both said that before about completely different movies, but about the way it's shot or if it looks too clean. So yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I think it looks like everything felt like that. Like it felt real. It felt like it was exactly how it was portrayed. I don't know, like it was convincing. And I'll be honest, like we've had some duds. And it's been hard to kind of get back into like being like, not that I'm not still excited about found footage. I still love it, but it's been like, I really want some good ones,
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that this one got introduced into the pile.
This one, correct me if I'm wrong, won a bunch of awards. Did you tell me that?
Yeah. So I found an article about this one that actually said it won more awards in the festival circuit than the Blair Witch Project did.
Wow. Yeah. Now, I mean, take that with a grain of salt, but like, I mean, that's still really cool and really impressive.
Yeah, it won a lot, like 19 or something like that. 19.
Really cool. Really cool.
In the circuit for found footage festivals or whatever, or found footage movies. Yeah. Yeah. So we want to do our scores.
Yeah, let's do it.
You want me to go first? You go first.
Yeah, you go first. You go first.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie to you. When I learned what the budget was, it got bumped up a little bit because I was like, not that it was low because it's not. Spoiler alert, I enjoyed this one, but I just that just made me appreciate it on like a totally different level. Yeah. So based on like, first of all, it's about aliens, which I love aliens. That's not too much of a spoiler, right? It's holes in the sky, right? So, it felt really real, and there's a lot of other positive things I'm going to say about it. I'm going to give this like a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
For a lot of the reasons I already said, and for some of the reasons you just mentioned, I am going to give this movie. I'm going to give this movie a 7.
Okay.
Which is one of the highest ratings we've done. I mean, I think we've had a lot of lower ones recently. So for like new movies, this is one of our highest rated in a while.
Yeah, and it sounds like we're a lot more on the same page with this one than we have been in a while too, because it's been kind of flip-flopped.
Yeah, I would say cumulative scores, cumulative number of VHS tapes. This is one of the highest in a while. So
yes,
that says a lot because I feel like we've been, I don't even know if I would say we've been very critical, but we've been disappointed.
We've been disappointed. Yeah.
Been disappointed. So
yeah. So this was a pleasant surprise because I had not heard of this one until you'd sent me a list of some and we were like, oh, let's do the survey thing. And people voted for this one. And when we give the people what they want here at Found Footage, right?
Yep. That is right.
So
we're going to have to do this more often because we got some.
It did. And it got some engagement, which hopefully will mean, more people will want to check out the episode when it goes live. But yeah, so unspoiled thoughts other than what you've already said.
I just like this movie. I feel like this was a good. It had the feel of pretty classic found footage.
It did.
Movie.
It did.
Which I really liked. In a classic sort of mockumentary. Even though I don't like that phrase, mockumentary makes me think of like This Is Spinal Tap or something like that. But you know what I mean. But like that's what it is. So it had that classic feel, which I really enjoyed. So let's spoil it.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say an Aliens check boxes for both of us, right?
Yeah. So I the first 3 books I wrote were all
alien
featuring an alien invasion. So totally up my alley. Yep.
And I'm always saying that we need more alien found footage because I've only seen one other one that I really liked.
And that would be
the Gracefield incident,
which I haven't seen.
Right.
I haven't seen.
Maybe I don't even remember if we've talked about it off.
The only alien found footage I think we've talked about is the McPherson tapes. Not as highly rated as Holes in the Sky.
Yeah, okay. So my point is it check boxes for us because both of us like the documentary style when it's
Yeah.
done right, and we both like aliens. So
Yes.
none too
Absolutely.
surprising. But anyway, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. So let's spoil it. So okay. The the one thing that I think genuinely impressed me is like the emotion that these people show. Everyone.
The acting was like legit. Yeah.
Right?
In that it wasn't like it wasn't over the top. They just felt like real people talking to the cameras. And I think it's because they were and they are, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they are playing, I think playing themselves. I know at least the director, Ash Hamilton, was
Mhm.
in the movie as the director.
As
And
Ash.
I'm wondering if the rest of the
Probably.
crew and the rest of the people that are part of his team were his real life friends because it had that sort of
Yeah.
feel. Is that
Yeah.
what you were going where you were going with that?
Yeah, like, well, and I just mean in general though, like I felt bad for Sean. Like I genuinely felt bad for him, even in the early clips when like the lights are going crazy and things are not working and he just had this look about him like this is my life now and I am so like depleted of any energy. Like I don't even know what to do anymore. Like this weird numbing acceptance kind of thing. But he wore it all here in every scene, even early on. And that part made me like unsettled. Like it just got to me as far as like, I believed him. I believed
Yeah.
that this guy, that he had been dealing with this and going through so much. Like, I don't know. Like, it was just all of it was like super convincing and it just all
Yeah.
felt very real.
Did you feel, I know you said that you felt it was obviously aliens, but it's called Hole in the Sky. One thing that and this could have just been sometimes I interpret things differently.
Yeah.
Watching the movie, while I was pretty certain it was going to be aliens, I felt like the door was left open. That was it aliens or was it something more paranormal also? Did you get that feel watching this? Like it was sort of like open ended, maybe not at the end, but like during the movie.
Well, I think there's some things that could be left open like that because of them seeing other people from the past.
Right. Right.
So I think, I mean, yeah, I think that's a fair, that would
I
be,
wasn't a
I
hundred
would
percent
buy
sure.
that. Like, if
Yeah.
you were to tell me that that was how you interpreted it, I think that there's arguments for that.
Yeah. I mean, I liked that it wasn't
Just
like
like,
maybe it wasn't 100% clear. I
mhm.
was kind of down with that.
Yeah.
So I really like that. In
Yeah.
particular,
There were some side things that just made me feel like, oh, what's the alien movie where the guy comes back after being abducted? He's like under a table, and I always remember this thing because it scared me so much as a kid. And he's having like a post traumatic like moment, and like something falls over on the table, and when it comes down, it's just like syrup or something. But he like imagines it being him being back on the. I can't remember what movie that is with the railroad tracks. What is the name of that movie? Oh my
like
god.
a classic movie or
It's the alien movie with the guy. Oh, what is it called?
the Alien movie, E.T., Close Encounters of
About
Third Kind.
abduction. It's specifically about abduction. It is not a kid-friendly movie. I
Oh,
am drawing a total blank.
isn't that funny?
Anyway, when I remember, I'll put the words around my head somewhere.
If
But
you're watching right now and you know what movie Angel is talking about, please
it
respond.
scared me so much as a kid. And I can almost see the guy's face, but I can't remember the actor. Anyway, there's some stuff that happens to him in that movie, in the one I'm thinking of when he comes back, that
Mhm.
reminded me of some moments in this. Not exactly, but just like the friend being on the stairs in the middle of the night and like
Sure.
these just odd
Creepy.
moments that people are just kind of not themselves. Like, oh, and have you seen The Fourth Kind?
No,
Okay, first of all,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
it's so good. Well, the hypnosis scene that happens in Holes
Yep.
is
Reminded of that.
really similar to one of the hypnosis scenes that happens in The Fourth Kind.
Interesting.
And I thought like all of that was just like all of those things made me think Alien is my point. And
Okay.
that's just
All right.
like, and then plus I wanted it to be aliens, right? Because
Right.
I
Right.
would love to have more alien films.
I think that's what it was. I just thought it was,
No, I agree though. I do
especially
think
by the end, I was
it.
pretty sure that's what it was. But
Yeah.
um,
But I thought like and I definitely that was the direction. Like I said though, I can easily see the argument for the other two though.
I really enjoyed the relation here. This is not a lot of the stuff that made it scary, but just made it like believable again, which I think is maybe the strength of this movie, the realness of it.
I totally
There's a scene where the group of them are sitting around talking about like old television shows, and like they're talking about
I love
the
that
Snorks
scene.
and like it just felt like I feel like I've had this conversation with my friends.
Oh my God.
before.
And I knew all the shows because they were talking
Sure.
about Scooby-Doo to start with.
Yeah. And it just felt like I almost was like, was that even like scripted? Was that just
I know what you mean.
I'd be curious. But like that kind of stuff made this feel more real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, for the super low budget, there was, I feel like the end, even though I would say if I had one gripe, it would be the end was like, bam, done. And then I felt like over, where it came a little too fast for me. I feel that was my only gripe, really, which is small thing.
Yeah.
I feel like though the scene at the end was cool for being pretty low budget. Where you know what I'm talking about, where they rise up into the sky. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think, and I know I've said this like 1,000 times, but this just makes such a big difference in lower budget films or films in general. They really chose their moments carefully with what they did, because the shadows in the yard was very effective. The person running at the house that was effective. And
that was one of the scarier moments. Yeah.
It made me jump. And so I did rewind that part and go back and rewatch it. And it wasn't as effective the second time because I knew it was going to happen. But it was effective the first time. The shadows in the yard, the guy disappearing in the field, and then like you said, that end sequence was like, and to add to like this thought of like smart filmmaking, it was such a smart idea to do the last moments in that in the 911 phone call. Because it told us a lot without having to show us a lot.
They used that as bookends for the movie, which I've seen that sort of that before, but I did like that. Like you got to see what the
I think it worked in this one.
It worked. It doesn't always.
I feel like it doesn't always.
Yeah.
But I mean, 700. I think that part, and then with the ending too, the other part that I'm not even joking. Do you know, I can't even tell you the last found footage movie that even got tears in my eyes. But like when Ash is talking at the end about losing his friend, and then Sean being like, I was like so emotional. Like I felt like we really lost these people. It really got to me. He was so convincing.
He was.
And then that card comes up and it says gone but not forgotten, and then it changes and it says not gone. I was like,
yes,
like it just
that was great.
It got me so good.
That was great.
Yeah,
I feel like there was a lot of, it was clear that they were really passionate about this movie, and really they put out something really cool, like just in those scenes, especially with Ash.
Yeah,
I think that was some of the strongest. Those were some of the strongest elements of this movie.
I totally agree.
It's not the scariest found footage movie I've ever seen. It's not like just flat out terrifying or anything like that. It's got some scary moments. But the strength of this film are the characters and the writing, and
the writing. Yeah,
was all really, really great.
I mean, even the stuff with like when Ash is showing us before they ever go and meet Sean, they talk about or he shows the email.
Yeah.
that Sean had sent in response, and how basically he's been treated since
Mm-hmm.
this happened, when other people said they wanted to talk about all of that, felt like. And I think that email is part of what made me feel for Sean in the beginning, because I was just like, it probably isn't very, like, I mean, I exist in circles where we talk openly about the fact that we believe in aliens, right? But that's
Yep.
not the same for everybody. So if somebody were to genuinely have been abducted, hypothetical, or think they had been, and then knowing that they told other people, and other people's, like, all of that just felt so real to me. That, like, conversation of like, look, I've been through this before. I've been, mistreated, disrespected, what have you. Like, you'll have to understand that I'm going to be cautious. Like, all of that felt very real. The going to the house, and I think it's his wife, right? They're not like just dating. I'm pretty sure they're married.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, he's like, we just need to give her a few minutes. She's really not as prepared for this. Like all of that felt very real to me. I don't know. I did not go into this expecting to like it this much.
No.
And then I ended up really enjoying it. And it does, like most found footage, it does have a little bit slower. It takes its time getting you into the concept, getting you into the characters. And then, but I never was like, okay, can we I never felt that way. I was invested in the story from the first screen card, like.
No, in
And
fact,
I
I
don't know.
wanted a little bit more, even me. Like I was like in it, and was sad when it was over. So I guess that's good filmmaking.
Yeah, and I think, like, I don't really have a lot to complain about. The
Yeah.
only thing I would have loved to have seen more of, which, understanding the budget constrictions, makes perfect sense that you don't get more of this, but I would have loved more alien stuff.
Yeah, but I
But
think
I'm gonna
you have
say
to
that
they have
regardless.
to be careful though, because when low budget,
You're right.
you
I
show
know.
too much,
I
it
totally
ends up
agree.
being a negative almost
And that's
always.
what I'm
Like,
saying. So it's not even really a complaint per se. It's just,
right.
that's the only thing I can think of that would have changed it for me, is if that had been done and been done as good as the
Mm-hmm.
rest of it. But like you said, I mean, that end shot, I didn't even
Right.
think it
That
was
was
going to go
perfect.
that hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, think about how many movies we've watched where
Mhm.
lower budget movies where they showed too much, where they
And
tried
we're
to
just
do too
like, oh,
much, and they weren't. So this these filmmakers knew what they were capable of and their strengths, and didn't try to, I don't know, make a much higher budget film with the low budget, So
no. And wherever it went, it was smart. It was used very
yes,
smartly. I was going to say that, but that's not a word, but
smartly,
you know what I mean.
intelligently, yes, no,
Intelligently,
wisely, yeah,
wisely. That's the one. Yeah, no, I really like this one a lot. It puts some more like wind in my sails,
yeah. It's. I know. I feel like it came out technically is 2021 that it came out in.
I can look really quick.
I feel like it's 2021, but it's only recently that I've seen it, like people talking about it. So I wonder if it's taken a little while to actually get out there.
It says 2021. It's an hour 36, so a little bit longer than.
A few minutes longer than our hour 28 that we typically see. Hour 29.
Yeah, but yeah, 2021 was its official release.
It's a gem hidden on Tubi, which there are hidden gems on there. There are just as many, ones going in the opposite direction. But this is definitely. I mean, we say watch them all, but like definitely watch this one. This would be if you're a fan of the genre, like this has got to be one on your to watch list.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed this one. I like when it got me emotional at the end, I didn't even know what to do with that because it's been so long. The last movie that made me feel any type of depth in my emotional response to what I'm watching was Savage Land.
Oh yeah.
But but even that completely different than this, completely different. So yeah, no, I would definitely watch this one. I mean, it's on Tubi. Why wouldn't you anyway? But it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So
and I don't always do this sometimes because we don't really know who does them, but because they do follow me, I'll link their Twitter in the description for this one. If anybody's interested in going to check them out and seeing other projects that they have going on and what they do. But
I'm definitely curious to see what else they do and if they're going to put anything else out there. So absolutely.
Especially if this is their first full length slash and
I
or
wonder.
whatever, their first found footage. I mean, this is a strong entry. Like,
Yeah, and I'm sorry to say I don't know. I didn't look to see what they've done
I didn't
already.
either.
So
I don't know either.
they seem to have the little that I saw. They seem to have definitely an online presence.
They do because
Right? Like,
they have, yeah. So they have a website where they do horror reviews and stuff.
okay,
It's called Horror Fix, FIX. So the website is like horrorfix.com or something, but it's
review like horror movies.
reviews. Yeah.
Horror movie reviews. Okay.
Yeah, but they do other stuff too. There's articles on there that they've written about other things, and obviously, of course, promoting their film and stuff too.
Sure.
But it's a mix of stuff. So I'll put that in the description for this episode because I really liked what they did with this. I would love to see them do something else.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll be checking that out to see. I hope they are. So, and this, so I forget already. You said it won a bunch of awards. Where did it win awards? Is there like a found footage, film festival
So
that we don't know about?
So basically, well, there is a found footage festival in Cali every year in March.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I really wanted to go this year, but I don't think that's going to happen, but that's all right.
Maybe I did know that. It doesn't seem, I feel like I knew that, but still, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to go just because you're going to get to see stuff that like isn't going to be mainstream for a long time. Okay, so the award wins took place during the 21-22 festival seasons.
Okay, that's why it's just people are talking about it now.
Yep.
It
hit 19 award wins, which makes it the most awarded found footage film in history, beating The Blair Witch Project.
Wow.
Well, now, it even has it's a long list. I'm not going to read them all, but if you go to the website, which I'm going to link in the description, it has a list of all the festivals and the awards that it got, including Best Reality Horror, Best Director, Best Horror, Best Sci-Fi, Best Documentary, Best Mockumentary, so on and so forth.
Okay.
So,
I have to assume they won some acting awards.
I don't see anything for acting. Best Feature, Audience Choice, that's good. Star Award, but I don't know what that one's for. Best Sci-Fi, Best Horror, Best Mockumentary, Best Director. Wow. Yeah. Best horror sci-fi feature film. Best
doesn't it make you think we're like rating it a little low?
Huh?
Doesn't it make you feel like maybe we're rating this a little low?
I actually almost changed my rating mid-episode, but I held off.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, because I teetered on like the 6 and 7, and then I went up to a 6.5 when I saw the budget. But I mean, the films that I give 7s and highers are 7 and highers. 7 and higher is are usually like really something. Like I mean, not that this isn't, but it is harder to get those ratings from me specifically.
Sure. Yeah, you're very. So we're both pretty selective, but yeah. So this for me, I mean, it's not. I think the reason this didn't jump. So I gave it a 7. The reason it didn't jump higher is honestly the scare. Like I'm looking to be scared. I think with a lot of these movies, that's a personal sort of preference. It says nothing about the movie. It was a really good and well done movie. But if I'm just rating this alongside my favorite found footage films, it's not quite like one of my favorite, but it's very good. So 7. Yeah.
Well, and that's how I rate things too when it comes to found footage. I look at the others that I've given similar ratings, or I look at ones that I really loved, and that's kind of what I'm, without comparing. Like I'm like, that's what I'm thinking about. And I mean, I think you're right. I think the only reason it didn't get like an 8 is because it wasn't as scary. But the parts that were uncomfortable were very effective. I just wanted more of them.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, this is a solid film. If you have not seen Holes in the Sky, it is on Tubi, and you should definitely check it out. Definitely.
Right now.
After you like, subscribe, and comment on the video. Oh, and share it.
Share it like once, twice, 3 times.
And then go watch the movie after.
Tag some friends. This video, I have a feeling this one's going to get a ton of views, Angel.
What just happened?
That was freaky. Is this turned into like a found footage movie right now? Your
What
voice, like
happened?
your voice became like sort of robotic and alien-like, and then you disappeared for a second, and there was just a pit of darkness
Did I
where
hit
you
a
once
button?
were. I don't know, but you've come back wherever you went. Pulse in the sky, everybody. It's happening right now.
Is this because I didn't give it an 8? I take it back.
That's a perfect note to end on.
Agreed. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us in this episode of Found Footage Fridays. Check out Holes in the Sky. Go follow the people that made it. It's in the description for this episode. Have a great weekend and an awesome week coming up. And Tom and I will be back next week.
Have a good one. See you next week.